Okay, we'll get started. So, we've seen yesterday, right, how to create feature branches, and we've seen the merging, and we also applied pull request in the life cycle. So, how one person create a pull request and other person can approve it, and different options available in the pull request to failure to avoid the pull request. And we also seen permissions. Sorry. So we also seen permissions, how to give access to the repositories or how to stop it. And we also seen some trial and errors. For example, if you already have some pending pull request, you will not be able to create another pull request or such kind of things we seen it. And we also seen how to merge the content as well and merge conflicts as well. So in Git, right, you will have some other scenarios as well. So now you have a feature branch to which dev is a parent and to which master is a parent, right? Master is always the fully working solution, always. Only the project administrators or the build administrator should have access to that. Okay, and at some exception, probably your architects or leads may have it because you cannot give access to any other one. Okay, so you always create as a best practice, right? You always create, let us say, you're going to create a pipeline. That means you are going to deploy your code to dev or production. For dev, you give it from the dev branch, but you're going to give it to the QA. So this is a different thing, right? To the production or something. You basically create a releases. Okay.
Hi,
You will
sorry,
not.
Purna. This is Manoj. Sorry for interruption.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, actually, what is the necessity of merging two branches?
Okay.
Yesterday, actually, I did not understand the concept. Actually, yesterday was a first class for me.
Okay, Manish, so you will be knowing that concept now itself because I'll be talking about repeatedly. Okay, so if you still don't understand at the end of the session, I will let you know. Okay.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
So what I do, I will not be going to create a QA branch or UAT branch, etc. As I told you, uh, this is against your DevOps skills and creating branches for environment because you have to build it many times. To give it to QA, you have to build it. To give it to UAT, you have to build it. That's not correct actually. Okay, because your code is not changing, only your configuration is changing. Okay. So what I do from the master branch, probably I create one release branch and I name it. Again, it depends on our naming convention, right? And if your team wanted to have release 1, 2, 3, you can go ahead and release 1, 2, 3 or release 1.1, 1.2, whatever it is. Whatever is the naming convention you use, you can use it. I'll create a release branch, okay? And I go ahead and create some pipeline, or CI/CD. That is a generic terminology. And in Azure terminology, it is Azure build pipeline and release pipeline. CA equal to build pipeline and CD equal to release pipeline. I'll go ahead and create pipelines. Okay. And instead of having these branches, right, QA, UAT, I will have a stages. I call it as a stage. Each one is a stage, right? In Azure, we call it as a stage. I will have stages in my pipelines. Now deploy to the QA stage, now deploy to the UAT stage, now deploy to the production stage. This is how I deploy. So that's how you can mimic the environments, having this workflows in further. Now, why I am saying this one? Now you have the release branch, and you given the release to some environment, and let us say in production you got some issue. Okay, and you already working. This is a typical scenarios we've been talking about. You are working on already sprint 2 features. You got a bug. What you do? You will go and do that bug fix in your release branch. So obviously, once the release is done, I don't allow anyone to do any modification. But with some exceptions, I probably allow that person to work on the release branch. He will go and do the bug fixing in that release branch code, and again he will deploy that one. But probably for a better tracking mechanism, what I do, instead of working on the release branch, which is already been deployed, I create a hotfix branch from that release branch. Again, this creation is same. In that hotfix branch, he will do the bug fix and he will give the deployment. Once that is done, now what is happening? we have this hierarchy, right? Your feature branch, dev, master, release, and then you have your bug fix branch. Now, I'm already working on some feature which is for Spring. Now, my code is around 5 branches away actually, and behind I would say. But I want this bug fix code also in this current feature. Otherwise, what happens when I merge my feature branch code with the dev branch? It works. When I merge this dev branch with the master, it works. But when I give a new release, the release works well, but the bug fix what you given earlier will again be repeated. This is a regression issue, right? We do not have the bug fix what you already given actually because you did not have that code in your the current feature branch. Okay, now people say, oh, you need to now merge all the way back to your because your master should have your bug fix, your feature branch should have your bug fix, your dev branch should have your bug fix. Then only you will have the consistent way. Otherwise, sometime future you will get some issue, this regression issue, because you are missing that bug fix code in all the places. But this is a very tiresome activity, right? You need to merge different things, and you don't know how much time you will put in that one because you have a n number of changes over a period of time, and when you are merging, it may break as well. Nobody knows, right? There might be hundreds of developers or tens of developers, hundreds of thousands of commits as well. So for that purpose, to avoid this, now what I in my bug fixing or in some master branch or something, there are hundreds of thousands of commits, but all I need is a bug fix code, maybe that some 10 lines or 2 lines or 1 line of code, what is there in my hotfix branch. I want that bug fix code, only that bug fix code in my feature branch, so that whatever the code I am developing for the current sprint will not give regression issues. So the tester will go and test it, he will still have the bug fix in place. If you miss that one, he will again raise that bug. This is called regression issues, right? So for that, to avoid all these mergings across all these layers, there is a concept called cherry pick. This is also merging, but this is a cherry pick. That means it's kind of copy paste. You copy from your notepad and you paste it anywhere you want. Okay. So in the same way, I'll copy from my hotfix branch whatever is the code I created or developed, and I paste it to my feature branch directly, and it will still have that tracking because it is happening from the tool. So how do I do that? This concept is called cherry picking. So many people don't use it, but if you're working for a complex engagement, if you're spending hours and hours just for merging, right? Don't do that one. If it is, if you can simply select a particular commit. In that commit, it may have 10 lines of code, 20 lines of code, and that commit might be across multiple files. Don't worry. You just go and review the commit, in which commit you have the bug fix, copy it, and paste it to your current working branch, your feature branch. This is called cherry pick actually. Okay, let me show it that way you will understand. So for that, what I do first, I will go ahead and so this is one of the scenarios. The other scenario could be, so let us say you are working on a feature called we created this. Okay, let me go to my branches. So right now I have a login microservice feature branch, and then dev branch and master branch. Yesterday we deleted another branch, logout microservice, right, as part of our pull request. So like this login microservice, you might have some, let us say logout or a home page, etc. These are the different features you may have it, right? So since I'm a contributor, I might have access to different branches, right? This is very much possible. Uh, Again, as a developer, I might not be restricted to only dev branch. I will be access to other feature branches as well because there is always possibility to share our work. Okay. Now what happens? Maybe I'm doing some work and probably I switched my branch from my login microservice branch to some other branch by mistake. and code looks similar, right? Because you are sharing the code. Only some pieces of code lines will change, and rest everything will. And I go ahead and do all my changes, and I commit it. Finally, after 2 days, I realized that I've been working on a different branch. Now what happens? Either you need to copy paste here if you are having only one or two comments, but if you are having 10, 15 comments, because the people will ask you to check in your code every day before end of the day. And it will go for continuous integration. If there are any issues, it will come into picture. That's a standard. And if you come to know this after 3, 4 days, right, then you really do not know what you changed. Okay, that's where your cherry picking comes into picture. This is another scenario. You can simply copy from another branch to this branch, but I give you another scenario like, you are 3 branches away, you are in hotfix branch, you can directly copy from there to here. So when you are again merging back, your bug fix code is going to the other branches as part of your regular pull request mechanism. So you avoid all these regression issues. Now let's go ahead and create some branches. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'll create a new branch. Now I will say it as I will follow the same naming convention. Dev Chandra. I'll say so home page. Let's give it like this because generic can be, it's a generic term, right? So home page, and I'm instead of this one, I will say release actually. I'm saying I'm giving the release 1.1. Okay, always as I told you, as a best practice, give the release from master branch. But in many companies, some people might be doing creating the branch release branch from the dev or something, but that's not a good practice because we always have a working solution in the master branch. Especially you see this enforcement if you are working for the product development, because products are for many people, right? If they don't follow these rules explicitly or in with enforcement manner, they cannot manage their product. So they follow it very strictly actually. Now go ahead and create a release one branch. Okay, the branch is created. Let's go ahead and see. So I'm not making any changes here. Okay, I want to create another branch based on my release one because my release one went to some production environment. Now I got the bug fix, I had to work on the bug fix. So what my administrator does, he will go and create another branch. Okay, so you can directly click here and create a new branch, or wherever you have the new branch option, you can go ahead and create. So let's create a new branch. I would say hotfix release 1.1. I'm saying I'm doing a hotfix for on release 1.1 branch, and it is based on release 1.1. Let's go and create it. Done. Now I do my bug fixing code actually. So what I do, I can do it. I mean, either a different developer or this is not the scenario for the merge conflicts, right? This is the scenario for the cherry picking. Okay, so I'll go and do some bug fixing. I mean, I'll write some comments just to mimic the environment. I mean, real-time environment. So in home controller, you can keep anywhere. I will say I'll edit it and I'll put some comment here. Cherry pick example one. I'll make another change as well. Okay, let me copy this one. I just want to save some time. Control C and then commit. And then I'll make one more change in some other file. Okay, let's say commit, paste it here, example 2. I just want to keep it very simple. Done actually. Okay, now my bug fixing is done. Okay, now I'll go back to my Visual Studio. So now this code is not available even in your what is it, release branch, because I did not merge it, right? So in default controller, you don't have your cherry pick here. and then home controller also. I'm just showing for your reference. We done here, right? So now I want this bug fix code in my current working repository. So let's go back to Visual Studio, and my this is Solution Explorer. Let's ensure that where you are here. I'm in Dev Purna login microservice. This is how you can do it. So in other ways, I can say technically, I checked out my feature branch with name Dev Purna login microservice. Okay. Let's go ahead and let's go to Team Explorer, view Team Explorer, and see the history. This is a demonstration, right? You need to see the history, what commit you are there actually. Okay. So let's click on the branches, and this is highlighted. This is another way to identify. Let's click on view history. What is my latest commit? This is a DD80FE86, right? You just remember that one. Okay, now I want to take the bug fix code what I done in my that hotfix branch and have it here to avoid regression issues and to reduce the time for the merging. Okay, now I need to go to that branch, right? So remember the target here is your current working repository, current working branch. You have to check out that one. That means you have to be in that branch. So that is highlighted. The source is your hotfix branch. So you should not check out that one. You simply right click and see the history, then it will open that one actually, the history button. Okay, right now I don't have that hotfix branch because I simply opened, but I did not sync it. I don't have the remote stuff actually. So what I do first, let's go and sync it so that I will get that latest branch information here as well. Okay, sync. Done. Okay, let me check now. Branch. Yeah, I have this hotfix branch. This is remote, right? As soon as I check out this one, it will come to your local as well. Okay, now let's click on, let it come to there actually. Okay, you got it here. Okay, so just let me do it very freshly. Okay, let me close it. Now my hotfix branch is also available locally. My target branch is my Dev Purna login microservice. This is my current working branch. Let's check out this. Means now I am doing coding in my in this branch. Okay, let's open this home controller. So you don't have that one, right? The last one I added cherry pick. There is no cherry pick, and the other one is default. Here also you don't have the cherry pick. Okay, so let's close this to keep it very clean, and then go to your Team Explorer. As I told you, just keep this history open so that you can see the changes live while it is working. The latest one is DD80. Okay, you just remember that. Okay, and then go to Team Explorer. My source is my hotfix branch. Okay, now let's go ahead and do a view history before do a cherry pick. Let me keep it side by side. This side, okay, and then you can simply drag and keep like this. You can see side by side view actually. So the latest commit here is a 4DBE, and first I updated home controller, right? And then I updated default controller. So I don't want to open here, you will get confused. I'll open this commit from the portal and show you. Okay, the first one is 4DBE, right? Let's go to portal. Now you can go to the history. Oh, sorry, this is in release one branch. Okay, let's go to hotfix branch. Yeah, you see, So if I open update default controller, so what is the one I added? Cherry pick it. So if you open here, it automatically show the comparison, previous and current actually. Okay. So cherry pick example. Okay. So what is this commit? ACE or something? No, not this ACE. Let's let's comments. Okay, let's keep it like this. I just want to show you this one. This is the one, right? Now I'm going to, okay, rather than the latest one, I'm going to take this the last but one commit, which is the change in home controller, right? I added some cherry pick code actually. You just simply go ahead and okay, before I do that, let me open one more window as well. Let me keep it bottom. Let's see this Team Explorer. Okay, let's keep it there open. And now click on this last but one commit, right click and then say cherry pick. It went. See, you see some already thing here. Cherry pick completed and committed. The commit name is 452 452, right? Let's come to our the history here. Just refresh this one. How do you refresh? You have this refresh button. We have the commit copy to here using cherry pick mechanism. Now, without closing anything, let's do a Team Explorer. You see that one. Now, if you click on changes, right? Okay, click on sync. Now you can simply, this is update home controller CS, right? Or if you want to see it now itself, you can simply open. Okay. So now it is copied, you will not lose anything actually. Okay. Exactly. So first you open the target branch. First you do the, to just see what you are doing, you check out your target branch, which is your current working branch. That it will highlight it. Right click and see the view history. And now you open the source branch by clicking the view history. Now you keep it side by side to just verification purpose. And whatever is the commit you want to have it, just right click and check out. Cherry pick. It will automatically going to the current target what you opened actually. Okay, you just need to refresh to see the latest one. So I just want to see whether the change is happening. You can simply open it. The way you open anything. So it open this commit stuff, and you can see this one, just home controller.cs. Let me close now these things actually. You should be having your cherry pick. You see the latest one. Now the thing is, now you have your code. You can go ahead with your regular pull push mechanism. So let me close this.
One second. Sorry, this is Varun. All you did was you had one branch which is the target branch open, and you had your source branch, which is the hot branch, and you right clicked and cherry pick, and then automatically it did the merging into the current branch,
Correct.
which is your
Correct. I will show one more time. I will show one more time. Don't worry. Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
So that you will remember. Okay.
Thank you.
So two steps simple. One, check out your target branch where you currently working and ensure that that is checked out. You are working on that one. It will highlight you see in that one. Now open the view history. You don't need to open the view history, but you want to see the changes live. For a couple of times you do it, then you will use to that. You don't need to open it again. Okay. Now open your target branch view history. Then you see all the commits because you need to know which commit to be taken, right? Then right click on the source branch view history, right click on the commit, select the cherry pick. It will automatically copy to your target branch. where you are working on currently. That's it. And then you simply go ahead with your push. You will push that code. Or if you want to continue, you will continue with your coding and do after some time. Okay. Let me do one more time if you want. Okay. Because it might be confusing. So let's open. I mean, whether our code is here or not.
Hello, Purna. Sorry to disturb you. This is Shailaja.
Yes, Shailaja.
Actually, I missed the yesterday class. So, there is any way to actually what are the things covered in the yesterday class, and there is any way to get that information?
Yeah, for online people, you have access to recorded videos, right? You can check with the
Uh,
manager.
yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. So you have this example. Okay, and you already posted your remote repository as well. Now let's do one more time. I mean, let's quickly do it. So where I want to do it, I mean, you can do it anywhere, but I am just taking the farthest branch actually. Now let's go to my branches, and then you can open your hotfix release one, and let's make a few more changes. This time probably I make some web config change, edit, and then I say there is some test one, right? I will say test cherry pick. Okay, commit. Let's leave that web.config as a comment to easily identify for ourselves. Commit. Okay, now we will go and cherry pick it actually. Okay, now go back to your Visual Studio. I want to cherry pick from my hotfix branch to my the current working branch, which is my Dev Pune login microservice branch. For that, you should go to your Team Explorer. I mean, I always close it for demonstration purpose. Go to your branches, and then you already checked out. You are working already in your current branch, right? Let's see a view history just for demonstration purpose. So the current one is 452D is the 452 is the latest. That's what we just taken that commit, right? And then this is the target. Now open source branch from where we are doing the cherry pick. Don't check out. Just right click and do a view history. Checkout means you are going to do the changes in that one. Okay, you are not doing that. So for the demonstration purpose, I'll just keep this side by side. You can simply drag and drop like this. Okay. You see the latest one here is I updated default controller.cs, right? 4DBE something. Let's go and check out whether that is right or not. This is CA, right? Yes. So why it is not? Sorry. I have to pull the changes. I have not done that one. Okay, that's good. Okay, what I can do? I can simply do a sync. So I'll get all the latest. Okay. Okay, done. I think there are no, but I have a habit of doing multiple times pull or push actually. Okay. So repository is up to date, no changes to pull. Now go to branches, and now right click on the source and then do the view history. It hasn't come. Which sorry, this is your local. Let me let me change it here. I just checked out and then say sync. So it hasn't come actually. I need to check out and do the sync. For branches, you can simply say sync. All the branches will come. But the content inside your branch, you have to check out and then do it. Let's go and pull actually. Done. This is the one, right? Okay. Now let's go ahead and see actually. Check out CA7EB. Okay, the latest one. And now remember, my target is my current working one, which is my Dev Pune login. This is my current working branch. Let's check out. Means just double click that one. Okay. Now your local code is pointing to your this Dev Pune login microservice, and I already opened this view history. Right click and do the view history. Okay. No changes here. And now what I do? Go to Team Explorer. On source hotfix release 1, do a view history. So I got my, since now I pulled the latest code, I got my commit. So just for the demonstration purpose, that let's close the media to open 2 times. You can simply drag and drop to the bottom, just for demonstration purpose. Now you also need to have this Team Explorer, right? Let's open this and go to home. Okay. Now I want to have this commit, this cherry pick. You see that comment into my local branch. All you need to do is simply right click and then do a cherry pick. That's it. It's already copied. All you need to do is just refresh it. Right now it is 452, right? Now you will get another commit there. This is 284 because that is the commit ID there. Whenever you commit to different branch, you will get a new commit, right? Now all you need to do is go to Team Explorer and you see the cherry pick completed and committed is 2848. That's what you see. That means now you have this cherry pick code in your local repository. You want to see, just a double click and you'll just close this and you can close everything. Now the change what I done is in my web.config. You can open it and see. So the change I done is cherry pick. It is already highlighting that one. Okay. So that's how you do, and after that you can go ahead and continue your, you can push it, and or you can continue with your code, whatever you want to do you can do. Now it is in your local. I simply say sync. When I say sync, I don't have any incoming commits. I only have the outgoing commit because I just done cherry pick, means I have the latest code, one commit into mine. So this is outgoing, right? So you can simply say push. That's it. This is how you can reduce the time to merge different branches when you only have a small amount of small number of commits, less number of code to be copied to your another branch. Okay, so since you are having this in our local, obviously it will go through the pull request mechanism, and your bug fix code is there and your current working code is there. You will not get into regression issues. Okay. Hope you guys got it now, the cherry pick.
Yeah.
3 steps. Check out your target branch, your current working branch, where you want to copy the commit from the other source, and see the view history and open the view history of that branch. Don't check out. I mean, don't double click it, and then right click, cherry pick. That's it, and then you go with your push pull method. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, what if we have too many changes?
You can take it. You can do one by one.
So you have to do manually.
Yeah, this is. I have not done it. You can see it. I mean, you can try it actually. Okay, you can do it. See this cherry picking. If you are doing it multiple things, right? Then it is a kind of merge actually. Okay, we apply cherry pick mechanism for small things. Let us say you want to do some 10-15 commits, then that is a hell lot of code. You should not be doing, you have to go with the merge actually. When you have a small things, one commit, 2 commits, or bug fixes, etc., you can go with cherry pick. It is similar to your, let us say you have one PowerPoint presentation. If you want to copy and you have another PowerPoint presentation where you want to have some content from that slide. If it is one slide, you copy the content and put into your target presentation. If you want to have some 90% of or 50% of what you do, you simply make a copy of that one and then you move it. So the cherry pick scenario is for to avoid merge things when you have one or two commits, 10 lines, 15 lines. I'm just giving an example. You don't need to go through all this part, and these changes are visible to you. If you have 100 changes across 10 files, you cannot even remember what code you written in which one. When you done a cherry pick, right, you don't even know what code has come to your local working repository. Don't do that for hectic things actually. For hectic things, go with regular merge mechanism. But for small things, go with cherry pick because it will reduce your time. Manually. Exactly. So these are the scenarios. That's why I explained the scenario. Some bug fixes, or by mistake you written some code to other branch, but you want to have it here, but you want it to be trackable. So I mean, this tracking works like this, right? Somebody tells you, okay, why you are doing this much time? I mean, I'm just giving some non-functional stuff as well. Okay, so don't do the cherry picking for bigger merges actually. So you can go and try, I mean, doing multiple things, you see the difficulty actually. Okay. So guys, that's about Azure repos. So you've seen Git commands, okay, pull, push, and stash, cherry pick, merge, context, pull request, and its workflows, and then merge context, okay, merging, and applying policies and permissions and the branches and giving access to the teams or members. Okay, these are all the things that you can do as a DevOps engineer, or for that sake, anyone can do because you already seen all the features available. And if someone wants to have this from the command prompt, of course, there is no worry. You can go ahead and there will be 10-15 commands available on the GitHub. You can take it and use it. But you see the difficulty mainly in these mergings or cherry picks actually, because when you are doing it from the command prompt, everything is in the text, right? Everything is in your command window or PowerShell window, which is a text. It's not easy for a human to read the text and understand. We have the visible, GUI. That's where it becomes easier. So for simple things like clone or push, pull, or commit, you can use it because there you don't need any intelligence. All you need is to ensure that your code is being pulled to your local or being pushed to your remote. So it's up to you, but for the productivity, I suggest to use this one because the wrappers are created by all these vendors, right, to improve your productivity. If you see, just take the sake of Linux, right? Linux. Older days, you do not have the GUI, right? So you use a Ubuntu, you don't have and use any other Linux flavor, you will not have it. Now that's where these vendors like Red Hat came into picture. They created the Linux wrappers on top of that. Now you are using the Linux server the way you are using the Windows server. So, and that is Red Hat Linux is the preferred platform for the even production environments. Why? It increases your productivity. You are using wrappers to increase your productivity, and you are having your Linux operating system for the performance and security. And you now you use Ubuntu. Everyone nowadays, right? You take Ubuntu, you install the desktop on that one, and start using that one because it's a time-consuming activity. So nowadays it's all about productivity, not how well we know the things. If you are doing it well, fastly, that's it. You are good. So you can go ahead and practice all these different things. Now let's move on to the next one. Okay, this is where the interesting stuff will start. So before I get into, so we've been talking about this end-to-end DevOps architecture, right? Let me show. So I told you we have a different SDLC pages. We done the planning phase, and respectively we done the Azure boards, and then we have the coding phase. That's what your Azure reports, version control, and the next one is your build and deployments, right? So which is nothing but your releases. in your SDLs. You deploy to the different environments. So in this continuous integration CI pipeline, we going to use Azure pipelines. So CI is Azure builds and CD is Azure releases, which comes under the same category, Azure pipelines. So under CI, what we going to do? We take again some .NET application. Guys, it doesn't matter how many thousands of lines of code is there. As a DevOps engineer, all you need to do is how you can do a build and deployment. You don't care what functionality is there, whether functionality fail or successful, what is there, it doesn't matter to you. You just need to package it and deploy it to different environments, make it available to the end users, or the end users can benefit, right? If it is application, your users; if it is code, your developers or testers, whoever it is. So don't worry whether this is a big or small, there is an application for you. And never even ask what is the functionality of that one. You don't need to do that. So what are the different things we going to do in CI? So we take an application and we do the build, we do the automated builds and then we do the code analysis for the code quality actually. And we use a different stuff like, Selenium, SonarQube, etc. for the code quality. And if the quality is not good, we will see how the quality will be measured, etc. If the quality is not good, we will fail the build, even though the functionality is right, because quality is out. That's why we are having the DevOps here. And we also do, some configurations in the code quality, I would say the code coverage, unit test cases, blah, blah, blah. You have many things under code quality. We will integrate the SonarQube with your build pipeline, and we will fail the build, we will make the build successful, and we will copy to the different places for the artifacts for the deployment purpose. Okay, and then continuous integration, right? Guys, continuous integration, many people think that having automated build isn't continuous. No, it's not continuous integration. Continuous integration means you have automated build and you should have the automated unit test cases. That means the developer must have written unit test cases in, if he is a Java, he should have written in JUnit or something. If he is a .NET guy, he should have written in MS Unit Testing Tools or NUnit. So whatever is the way, but you should have the automated unit test cases. You call it as a white box unit test cases. Anything using code is a white box. Anything is manual is a black box. They should have the unit test cases. If you don't have the unit test cases, you cannot measure the quality. If you cannot measure the quality, then it is not a CI. CI is all about ensuring that your code is of high quality. So somebody says, go and create a CI pipeline. The first question you should ask is, do you have the automated unit test cases? So if they have it, good. If they don't have it also, you will go ahead, but you will put a remark there basically. Since we do not have the unit test cases, we cannot have the coverage or the quality, etc. So we will see in depth while we are moving forward actually. So I will not talk about CD pipeline. First, let's do this CI pipeline. Okay. So this is how it looks, your continuous integration pipelines. I just kept it at a high level. So you also come to know what are the different metrics, how many builds fail, how many builds successful, and what's the reason behind it. So a good thing in Azure DevOps is these things are built in. You don't need to do anything for the analytics actually. They are available. You just need to ensure that you need to know where they are available. That's it. If you are using Jenkins or Bamboo, you need to install some plugins and you need to enable email communications, and then only it will be made available. So your platform setup, right? Let us say till last year or till last but 1 year, even to set up the platform, we used to take the 2 months or 3 months time. Get the servers and get the softwares installed and configured and make communication between all these different servers, give access to the different people. It takes 2-3 months because that was infrastructure as service. Probably you are using machines and doing on your own, and you need to work with your network people and server people and your project managers or stakeholders, whoever it is, for licensing, etc. Right? It takes 2-3 months. Now using Azure DevOps, it's just a matter of having subscription, plug and play actually, and you are not taking care of any maintenance activities, right? So that's where it is a jump start. You straight away go ahead and do your project configurations and then CI/CD pipelines. The time to market value is increasing. You are from day one you starting your activity. So that's why 3 months of time is getting saved for your business. That means at least 3 months in advance they can go to the market. They can release application. I'm just giving some ballpark estimate. Okay. So let's not get into the CD. So I just wanted to say that, okay, you finished these things and we will be finishing the rest of the things. End of the session, you implemented end-to-end DevOps. DevOps is just nothing, I mean, it's just not a CI/CD. It's the entire application software development lifecycle.
Hi, Purna. I have one question, like how
Okay,
Jenkins will come into
so let's go to the next slide. Sorry, what's happening? Okay, so I mean, as a practice, I mean, I have this habit of what you're going to learn in your new concepts or new features. So what all you can do? You already know branching and versioning, right? Okay, this is the basis for your CI/CD pipeline. Okay, and then you will do automated builds, and then you do the code analysis. This is what I mentioned in my diagram, and you do the configuration of automated unit test cases, and you will learn quality gates, and then code coverage, how to measure code coverage, and how to enable continuous integration. Okay, so and then where do you keep your binaries artifacts that came from your compilation automated builds, and how do you have this build metrics, how many failed, successful, etc. And then application configuration, that means you are moving application from one environment to the other environment. Your database server names will change, user ID passwords will change, and you might be using some third-party APIs, they will change. So how do you make that automated? It should not be manual. Okay. And deployment metrics. So these are all the things that you learn as part of CI/CD. Okay, I included both CD as well. Now, so we'll give some small intro to Azure pipelines, and we can close for the day actually. Okay. So let's go back to our before I get into the slide. So now we're done with our boards, repos, and the next one is pipelines. So right now my pipeline is empty. There is no build pipeline. There is no release pipeline. Don't worry. And we will be covering all these areas. Okay. So even if you go to the Azure documentation as well, you will see the same thing. If you learn all these things, that means you know the Azure DevOps. Okay. Let's open this. So what you should know in build pipelines. So nothing but your CI pipeline. CI is your generic terminology. So your build is nothing but it is building something, right? It is taking code and it is executing something in the background. Might be it is using some utilities. If it is a database, it may use Oracle engine or SQL engine, some database engines. If it is .NET Core, it use some build runtimes using .NET. If it is Java, it may use some JVMs or JRE, whatever it is, to build the application and give the executables, right? So probably you have 100 lines of code, it will become one exe, one MSI, or a lot of DLLs. So it will run somewhere, right? If it is your laptop, it will run on your laptop. If it is server, if it is automation, it might be running on some servers. These are nothing but your agent. So you will be running your automated builds on some servers. You call here as agent. This is not new to your Azure DevOps. You use the same terminology agent even for your monitoring tools or even for infrastructure as code tools. Anything, if something is working with some other one, you call it as agent. Let us say I want to monitor my server. There will be tools like SCOM, Nagios, SolarWinds, etc. What they do, they install their agents, which is nothing but some job on my server, and that job will keep checking the health of the server, send the metrics back to the master actually. In the same way, you have to do the automated builds on some server. Okay, so that server is nothing but your agent pool. If you have a number of agents working for you, you call it as agent pool. As simple as that. So, and what else you need to know? There are different types of agents that you have in Azure DevOps. That means if I'm if I'm a small scaled organization, or I'm independently working, I can't afford a server, my physical server, right, to run my agents. If that is the case, I can build my own data center. So for that kind of purposes, or you don't worry about some performance of your build. Okay, if you are using your own server, you are running only your builds. That means your performance might be, I mean, your build may finish in 1 minute. But if you are using the one given by Microsoft, that might be getting used by shared people. Of course, I mean, not the actual process, maybe the physical server in the back end. It may finish in 1 minute and 10 seconds. Don't worry. I mean, if you are poor, don't mind about the performance. So Microsoft hosted agent means you don't need to have any of your own server to run your automated builds. So when I create a build pipeline, this pipeline itself creates one temporary machine in the background. You don't see it actually, but it will simply say agent is started, agent is queued something. That means in the background it is creating some temporary virtual machine where you do not have any visibility, and it will run your automated build under that one. Once the build is done, it will destroy it. That is their headache. But you may see some lag in terms of availability of your agent machine. Okay, that's the one. But and you cannot log into that machine as well if you want to troubleshoot, because that's not the one created by you. But of course, we will be having access to the logs for the troubleshooting. And the next one is self-hosted agent. So I would say, okay, even 10 seconds is not acceptable to me. I just want to have the best performance of my builds as well. So this is the case, there will be some enterprise application where the build itself takes 1 hour, because there will be hundreds of projects in that application, and even the size of your application will be 5 GB, 10 GB. To build your application, first it has to copy that content to somewhere else, right? Even to copy that 5 GB, 10 GB of code, it may take 10, 15 minutes based on your network capacity. So it may take 1, 2 hours as well. Okay, in that case, you may not be able to afford to have this latency. 1, 2 hours already it takes, right? That's where your self-hosted agents come into picture. So I can use my own server as a agent. That means I create a pipeline. Yeah, I create a pipe. It can be a virtual machine or it can be a physical server in your data center. It can be anything. You just need a machine. Okay. Of course, we will show you how to make the connectivity. Okay. So I'll go ahead and use my self-hosted agent. That means I'll take my own server and I install agent on my server. And when I run the build, right, which is nothing but your build pipeline, it will run your build on that specified server. So the performance might be higher, slightly, or whatever it is, depends on the capacity you have. So these are the two types of agents you have. So when we are creating the build pipeline, right, you will see these two options. And what else you need to know? So again, agents, right? These are the virtual machines, right? So Microsoft supports both Windows, Linux, and Mac. Even hosted agents, again the same thing, right? So there is no operating system constraint here. You can have agents on any one of the operating system types. And then the way pull, push, etc. commands in your Azure repos, to create your pipelines, you need to know few things, few terminology, right? So you will be going to use these things like tasks, variables, triggers, build options, build retention policies, etc. So you will be using these terminologies and the relevant activities to create your pipeline. So as a practice side, because in all the sessions, I have the people both from the technical background and non-technical background. Okay, and some people are already experts because they are developers or leads, right? Some people don't even know what is a ID or something. So for every automation, the basis is the manual activities. If you don't know the manual activities, there is no need of automation, right? That's the reason what I do tomorrow. I'll simply take one sample web application from the Visual Studio, and I will show you how to manually deploy that or build that code and deploy to your some machine. I use my laptop only. So now you know the manual activities, and then we can move on to the automation. So otherwise, what happens if I straight away get into the automation? People from the non-technical background or who never worked on it, then they don't know what I am actually teaching. Okay, so guys who already developer or tester, bear with me for 15-20 minutes tomorrow. We'll finish that manual and then get onto the automation. And even it will help you as well, because even as a experienced developer or a lead, right? Many of the times you might have got a chance to install IIS and configure IIS, and probably some administrator already might have given you the complete server with IIS installed, and you go and deploy your stuff, and you go and deploy some, do some configuration, or the IIS administrator will do it for you. So when you do these manual things, right, probably you may know another 10-15% from these 10-15 minutes. So it helps both the ways. So bear with me for 10 to 15 minutes tomorrow, how to use this Visual Studio and build and deploy application manually. And we'll talk about Eclipse as well, but I am not going to show here. As I told you, in one class, I'll install Eclipse and show the integration. Okay, because the process, flow, and everything is same. And again, it's not just Java, right? Once you work as a DevOps engineer, you may need to work on Python, Perl, etc., Node.js. It will be any number of things, right? It's a learning curve. Actually, you cannot do it in one go. So that's it for today, guys. Any questions?
Oh, hello, Purna.
Okay, no questions.
Hello,
I'll
Purna.
stop it. But yeah,
Can you hear me?
thank you, guys.
Thank you.